Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. We got a special treat for you today. It's with a heavy heart that I gotta say goodbye to one of my favorite shows on Netflix, Sex Education. This is season 4. It's the last season. I'm really sad to see it go. So, Akram, I hope you brought your protection with you. No, he's going in raw. Just fucking.
You know me too well. Yeah, this is my first time getting cum done. This is my first time being exposed to sex education. I was, sometimes apprehensive, if that's the right word, getting into this. Not like really my cup of tea, but I was delightfully surprised, and I thought this season probably wasn't a proper send-off for sex education fans. It did feel really open-ended, or as if there needed to be a season 5. I think a lot of you can agree, but let's get right into it.
Yeah, I'm sad to see the series finish. I've been watching it since 2019 when the first season came out. Overall, I think it was a sweet send-off for this series, but I do have some slight criticisms with some of the subplots. We're introduced to a few new characters this season. We have O, played by Thaddeus Graham. Dan Levy plays Professor Molloy, I think that's his name. Mm-hmm. And we also have Gillian Anderson as Joanna, who is the sister of Otis's mom. It felt a little bit rushed, I'm not gonna lie, juggling a lot of new and old characters, especially for the final season. I felt like I had to keep track of a lot of things that were going on. I wish they would have just focus on a few of the original characters. Correct. And then just finish those stories off. Mm-hmm. And the Otis and Maeve arc I felt was kind of disappointing, to be honest. I think a lot of people that watched the show kind of wanted them to end up together. But unfortunately it started right where we were last season, where they just kind of took a break and they were like, oh, let's just do our own thing. Yeah. Right. So it was kind of disappointing for me. There were some characters that I thought came full arc, Eric. I loved where he was from season 2, and seeing him now. Some people have issues when they have struggles with their faith and their identity, so I like that he was able to bridge those two struggles together. Adam and his dad, I always loved their arc together, just seeing from where they were from season 1, where they were so abrasive towards each other, and they had a lot of family issues, and then to see them kind of bond together, it was really wholesome. Although I think it's kind of unrealistic that they became a family again. I mean, that's not impossible in the real world, but I think it was just a little unrealistic.
I don't think so. You said that earlier. I feel like that's such bullshit, because I thought, and here's the thing, because this plays into the thing where they're juggling a lot of characters, stuff like that. I thought that this guy, Mr. Gruff, was he fingered somebody in the past, so that's why they divorced. But then I came to realize that no, because you told me that he was just an asshole. So honestly, I thought that moment was actually kind of, in a way, bittersweet. I mean, they had he explored, but he couldn't do anything. He was really attached to love. So I thought that was really sweet. And especially the moment that Adam and the dad were confronting each other, he says, I like you, I love you. I thought that was really nice, and in a way that's basically saying I accept you. And then I was yeah, well, maybe we could watch TV. And they sat down. But there's not a lot of moments like that in the show. There's certain moments, Eric moment in the church. I thought depending on what you believe in and stuff like that, but I thought that moment was really effective, the way they did it, his words. And I really thought that was kind of, in a way, really interesting. You don't see much of that, and I think that was in a way really respectful to how they went about that, and that was kind of sweet too. Other people, though, honestly, the other people, I didn't feel like they had a proper send-off, perhaps. Even Jackson with the mom, I mean, at least it's nice at the end, they were hugging, but we still don't know is he gonna get the surgery of his balls. I guess it's not a big deal. And Cal, that whole thing could have been more effective the way they went about it. It was just basically, I'm depressed, I'm gonna lay in my bed. And then they were all still dancing and shit like that, in Cal's name, but still it was and then we move on from there. It's okay, so what happened?
They just threw it in there.
And what happened? Are you okay now? Or what's going on? I thought Aimee and Isaac's situationship was cute. And in the dark room too, I thought that was pretty sweet. But I think the most disappointing thing, and I think you can agree, is Otis and Maeve, that relationship. because Otis is basically Otis. So Maeve right now at the end, Maeve is basically fucking Tyrone, and she's fucking you and me. so Otis, she's a dickhead, and it shows like us with her.
I feel like Jack Quaid from The Boys, like I'm the cuck. Or
yeah, do you want to be the cuck, or do you want to be gotta fucks the wife?
Right.
No, but let me get your thoughts on Maeve's whole arc in this season, because in a way, her arc was really sad, but perhaps in a way, she actually had a better outcome than Otis did.
Yeah, I felt sad for Maeve because she didn't get that closure with her mom, and then her mom in this season passed away. So it was kind of bittersweet. And then she has relationship problems with her brother, who's kind of like a junkie.
Yeah.
And then she has like really no other family other than like Otis and Aimee, right? And she was trying to become. It's really sad because like season 1 through 3, like her English teacher like really believed in her, and she was trying to get her into like all these like AP classes just because she believed like she was such a intelligent person. She even had like she joined like the mathletes, I think they called them. Like she was trying to get like all these classes just to graduate, and it's kind of sad. Like she faced the harsh reality of when you're faced with college and you're trying to get into a career, and unfortunately you kind of have that harsh criticisms. Mm-hmm. That her professor gave her, like you're just not cut out for this kind of life. So, and it's unfortunate because, she said she doesn't have like a net to go to, right? This is like she put all her chips in this one basket, so she had nowhere else to turn to. And Otis, I felt like kind of was like a little selfish, like when he was like talking back to the mom, like, "Oh, you fucked everything." Well, you should support her no matter what she does, right? I mean, you can't just like say like, "Oh, she's gonna come back and we're just gonna be happy together," right? No, she has to find her own path too, So it's kind of sad, and then to see them not end up together. Mm-hmm. At least they had a fling together. That's the only thing that they got out of this relationship. But other than that, it was pretty disappointing.
It is very disappointing, and there's no resolution. I mean, there is a resolution. I'm gonna go fuck Dylan and Tyrone. You could stay there. But no, sure. I mean, Otis basically, like at the end, he just reads the letter, and then like it's a pan outside of the house, which is a beautiful home, to be honest. I was like, oh my God, that area is so beautiful. And it zooms out, and it's like, okay, so this guy, we don't really know what's going to become of his life. I mean, probably it's going to be just like his mom, but still. And at least Maeve, she does have a shot when they called her back, and she was like happy and stuff. But I feel like her thing was at least more concrete rather than Otis. And like everybody kind of, there's characters like, again, like Jackson, Aimee. Maybe they have something that's going to happen, or just to start or something, or like Eric, I want to become a pastor, but Otis is just like, I just want to be a cuck, and I'm gonna like, and at least Maeve is like, okay, she's gonna pursue her thing, she's gonna do her, but it does feel kind of, I'd say underwhelming. I think that's the proper word to use for it. Really underwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see this is the last season, but I was thinking in my head, like, if they ever want to do a spinoff, maybe we could see like a time jump, and then like maybe Otis becomes like his mom, like he actually becomes like a sex therapist or something, and then that could be like their own show or something. But Otis in general, like you said, like it was a pretty disappointing outcome. Like they didn't really like go anywhere with him. Even like they said they were gonna maybe have like a clinic together or something. But then like kind of like ended up right back where she was too, where she was just kind of like the school therapist, right?
Yeah.
The only character I really enjoyed this season, I'm not gonna lie, was Ruby. Like she matured so much from the first season. She just went full 360. I love that she became more vulnerable and open, to her feelings, and she was just a great character in general. And I love I was mad because if Maeve and Otis didn't work, I would have like Ruby and Otis to end up together, because I think they're really sweet together. I'm not gonna lie. There's moments where like they actually like feel like they're meant for each other, but then they keep cucking us with like, oh well, Maeve's supposed to be the one for Otis or some shit.
Yeah, I think Otis's outcome is just really dissatisfying. I think everyone else's, if I follow the thread line, it's basically accepting, and then also, okay, we're here, let's try to move forward and work with each other, and maybe that could be a good thing, but that's a pretty shitty like way to end it for that character. I'm gonna accept she's gonna be better off, whatever, and I'm just gonna like do my thing. I think in a way maybe they trust the audience to know that okay, he's gonna end up just like the mom. So, but you know, I don't know. It's not. It's bittersweet. It's exactly bittersweet, I think. But I for sure can imagine there being a season 5, and if there were, it probably would have been a way more satisfying and gratifying ending.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the fans will feel. Probably it'll be like mixed criticisms of the last season. Usually, like when you have shows like this popular, the last season tends to be like a little disappointing compared to the previous seasons. But overall, I was pretty satisfied. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite shows. I think it explores a lot of issues that we don't talk about because we're afraid to talk about, like, you know, not just like sexual issues, but also like communication and relationship issues, right? And I think they really handle those problems really well with these diverse characters, right? What they go through, they all have their different issues, but they're so relatable in our modern society.
Yeah, sure. So I guess we said our piece about that. Time to take off the condom and rate this season. So what would you rate it?
Overall, I'd probably give it 8 out of 10. I mean, I had some criticisms, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty satisfying just seeing, you know, these characters and how lived in and how devoted the actors were to this series. You know, they really stuck it out to the end, and I'm kind of sad to see them go. But I mean, Asa was wonderful. Ncuti Gatwa, Emma McKay. You know, they're just that trio. They really held the show together. So 8 out of 10 for me. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfect score. I myself would rate it 7, but I think for the general audience, probably they would rate it 8 out of 10.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Since you've never seen this show before.
Right,
I think that's
exactly. Fair. Yeah. Well, you heard it here, guys. Now, I hope you have a towel to clean up. That is the end of our review. Please drop a like, and we'll sub to our OnlyFans as well. And Dylan, why don't you take us away?
Well, thank you guys. If you stayed to the end of this video, let us know what you thought of this season. If you enjoyed this review, let us know. Leave a like, comment, sub. Anything helps the channel. We have plenty of reviews coming out this month, and we hope you'll stick with us. But thank you guys so much. But until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.